The following video was sponsored by the Greek American Heritage Society of Philadelphia, preserving and promoting our community's history.
I'm holding in my hands a 2011 Presidential Certificate of Honor presented by the AHEPA to Ernest A. Chletcos, and I'd like to read it first. For his dedication and service to the city of Philadelphia and the greater Delaware Valley, for his vision and support of the communities of Philadelphia, Upper Darby, Elkins Park, Cherry Hill, Atlantic City, and all areas Greek Orthodox communities in southeastern PA, for his inspirational leadership as a Boy Scout Troop 302 Assistant Scoutmaster, for his service to the Greek Orthodox Church, for his over 65 years of service with New York Life as a life member of the $1 Million Round Table, for his service to the Order of AHEPA and the Greek American community. I affix my hand to this certificate as a witness to his devotion to family, country, and AHEPA. I do hereby express the gratitude and appreciation of a grateful body, the AHEPA Supreme Lodge, in congratulating Ernest A. Chletcos, done this 18th day of June in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Nicholas A. Karakostas, Supreme President of the AHEPA. I'd like to get a shot of this if we can. One of the many, I don't want to say awards, but many documents that have been given to Ernest Chletcos for his devotion to the community. It appears to me that it's a remarkable, wonderful life, but I'd like to also mention a couple of other things that nobody I know today can make this claim of. He was a milk boy, a newspaper boy, a bus boy, a waiter, store helper, optician assistant before he even thought of a career with the New York Life Insurance Company. He enlisted in the United States Navy during World War II. The list is endless, but I'm going to skip down here to another part of his biography. Throughout the years, he has maintained his leadership role in the Greek community and the community at large. He has held many positions within the Order of AHEPA, Spartan Chapter 26 Philadelphia, St. George Greek Orthodox Church, St. Demetrius Church Boy Scouts, Troop 302, as we said before, the Masonic Lodge in Pennsylvania. Due to his love of community and innate gifts, Ernie has assisted many charities in the philanthropic efforts, raising thousands of dollars for many charities. Due to his tenacity and effort, many organizations gained national recognition. Ernie has inspired many members of the Order of AHEPA. Over the years, with his work ethic, love of people, and leadership, he continues to promote a sense of community to all those around him. He has served as a past master of his Masonic Lodge and is a lifetime member of both the Masonic and the Order of AHEPA. And probably something we better not forget, Ernie has been married to Kitty Chletcos for over 57 years and is the proud father of Peter and Georgia. The list is endless. The life, as I mentioned before, it is a remarkable and wonderful life. Ernie, if I may, you're 97 years young. We are thrilled to have you here talking with us today. First, let me start by thanking you and reflecting on your 97th birthday, which took place in April, where you had much of your family come from all over the country. Let's talk about that particular event just briefly, everyone. What was it like for you seeing all those people come out to remember the day with you?
I think it was wonderful that they took time out to come and see me and help celebrate my 97th birthday.
We know that you were born in Atlantic City in 1917, and then you came to Philadelphia. But could you back up and give us a brief history of your family and where they were from?
Well, my family is from the island of Lemnos, and the Woodall was beneath now. They came to America. My father came to New York and met my mother and his aunt, or my mother's aunt, but made sure that they got married.
Well, then let's move forward then into Philadelphia. You came into the heart of the Greek community. Tell us about growing up there and what it was like for your family and the Greek community.
Well, in 1932, we ran into the worst depression that was ever seen in the city of Philadelphia of the United States of America. People were standing in lines around the banks trying to get their money out of the bank because every bank was beginning to close up until Roosevelt took over. And at that time, he said that he shut every single bank in the United States, and he said that he would not allow any bank in America to open up unless they were solvent enough to pay every individual that had their money banked in that particular bank.
Tell us about the Greek communities that you were living right in the heart of the Greek community. Tell us where the Greek communities were at that time.
The Greek community was Locust Street between 10 and 12. And that's where all the company the pool tables, most of that, and the restaurants.
Now, were you folks speaking Greek in your family home at that time? And were you involved with?
Spoke Greek in my home because my mother and father wanted to be certain that we would learn the Greek language.
So you spent much of your time in that community. Did you have involvement with the communities that were out in the western suburbs or New Jersey? Tell us a little bit of.
We started out with the Evangelism Church at 12th and 5th Water, and then from there we went to St. George. And my family was very active in every facet of the church, including the Philadelphia and everything else.
Let's move forward a little bit. 1942, you enlisted in the United States Navy. Give us a little history about that.
In 1942, about 3 weeks after Pearl Harbor, I enlisted in the United States Navy because I knew that I would be drafted into the Army, and since I didn't want to walk too much, I wanted a ship that would take me wherever I was going.
So where did you actually serve then?
I was very lucky. I stayed in Philadelphia. I started out at the old Cousin Elvis Second and Chestnut, and I was in clerical work, FBI reports, and then I became charged of 4 induction centers and 9 recruiting substations, and I used to supply everything in the state of Pennsylvania.
Let's move forward to 1946. A big decision for you to move forward into a new job.
I was supposed to be discharged from the Navy 6 months earlier, but the Navy saw fit to freeze me on my job, and they said that I had everything in one ball that we did on recruiting duty, and I stayed in the Navy for 6 months longer, and then I began my career with New York Life in April 1st, 1946.
Your daughter told me after your first 20 years they gave you a pin or a watch, and I guess they thought you were going to go away or retire.
I was supposed to retire. They gave me a gold watch after I served with the company 20 years, but I did not officially retire until,
and it's still until. At some point, you decided that you were going to move into the suburbs here in Upper Darby, Pennsylvania. Tell us about the transition from Philadelphia, why you came out here, and what it was like for you.
Well, we lived in Pennsylvania for about, I assume 70 years, and then we moved to 16th and Spruce. When I got married, I took an apartment, and from there we moved on. After our first child was born, we moved to Upper Darby.
There's a running joke that everybody in the Delaware Valley knows you, and I asked around and I said, well, how is it that they know you? And they said, well, when you immigrated from Greece and you came to the States, there was always a guy coming around that was trying to sell us insurance, and that was you. So their first recollection of meeting people in the community is meeting you and obtaining insurance.
I used to buy them an ice cream cone.
So during that time frame, you were always involved with different organizations. One that I'm particularly interested in was the Boy Scout troop. Tell us a little bit about that, because you were actually a Boy Scout too growing up, and you were involved with the local chapter here, Troop 302 in Upper Darby, and that troop has quite a history and an achievement that most people don't even realize today.
Well, I was a Boy Scout when I was 14. I became an Eagle Scout, and I also received 10 merit badges after that. And then when my son became 13 years of age, Teddy Mangus, who is a great guy, practically forced me into 302 because he needed a little more help in running the local troop. Coming back to Teddy, in my estimation, was one of the finest chaps, devoted entirely to the success of the Upper Darby Boy Scout, and he did a fantastic job. As a matter of fact, we had more Eagle Scouts and we broke all records in the United States of America by having the most Eagle Scouts.
Let's go back to Philadelphia for a brief moment. 1008 Pine. Your family, that home, was a central location for many people, many immigrants that came into Philadelphia. Tell us about the community a little bit more that was down there and how your family was involved.
Well, a majority of the Greeks were living between Gaskell Street and 12th Street, and between Arch and possibly Christian Street. That was the central core of the Greek community at that time.
Let's talk about this book here. The History of the Greek Community in the 8th Clergy Laity Congress, 1942. The book is in English, but originally the book was done in Greek. We found a very rare copy of it. I think your sister owned this book.
That's correct.
And your sister was actually the first Greek school teacher at St. George Greek Orthodox Cathedral in Philadelphia?
That's right, and one of the best Sunday schools in America. As a matter of fact, they were site-based. They had a lot of congratulations that they had the largest Greek American Sunday school in America.
Let's talk a little bit more about those communities, the pockets of Hellenism that were around the Philadelphia area.
Well, it was Kensington Avenue and Frankfurt Avenue from Bridge Street on the north part of it and 69th Street. Every few blocks there was a Greek business owner, a restaurant, and as well as Gerard Avenue and Broad Street in the center of town in Camden, New Jersey.
How about your summers? Let's talk about what you do with your summers today.
Well, we used to go to Asbury Park every summer during my growing years, and then I also started to go to Atlantic City because I loved Atlantic City. I loved to swim from one end of the steel pier to the other because I was a very strong swimmer in my youth. And I swam around the end of the steel pier watching the horses jump into the water at the end of the steel pier.
That was remarkable.
You did.
I can't believe you just said that. You swam from steel pier to steel pier and saw the actual horses jumping? That is crazy. That's the stuff you see in movies.
Well, when I was a Boy Scout, we used to go camping on the eastern shore of the Chesapeake Bay. And I used to get up at 6 in the morning and swim 1 mile out in the Chesapeake, out the Bay area and swim back. That was my exercise for the day.
In closing, I'd like to thank you, first of all, for this wonderful historic book, and I'd actually like to read what you've written on the inside of it. And I think it's a valuable asset that the community, and especially the Greek American Heritage Society of Philadelphia, will retain and appreciate in future years. And it says, to the parishioners of St. George Cathedral, Philadelphia, past and present, and to the general public, in 1942, Reverend Dimitrios Papadonio, pastor of the Cathedral of St. George, Philadelphia, saw fit to publish a history of the Greek community of Philadelphia, the Cathedral of St. George, and the 8th Clergy Laity Congress of 1942. On realizing the importance of the contents of this book, I, Ernie Chletcos, decided to have the Greek language translated to English so that future generations will be able to enjoy the book. It is my hope that we will always remember and realize the sacrifices those before us made to maintain our church and our Greek identity. With this sense of gratitude to those early pioneers and visionaries that settled in Philadelphia and gave us their teachings, sacrifices, and hard work, my family and I wanted to donate the cost of the translation and partial distribution of this book. Ernest A. Chletcos and family, November 25th, 2012. Ernest, thank you so much for this wonderful piece of history, your effort and devotion to this community.
Well, I thank you for this interview setting, and I find the name to bring a little bit of enlightenment during that area. There's a lot more I'd like to say, but that's for another time.
Thank you so much again, Ernie. Thank you.
Growing up as a Greek American, first generation, what memory do you have that really shaped your life to be a young man and a man? As a young boy, what really shaped your life being a Greek American? What's the memory? Church, Sunday school, choir? Kidding.
Well, I think it was a combination of everything. But the most important thing was I had to excel more than an average American because I was a Greek. And in those years, we were considered not exactly the
Second class?
main class of Americans, but we were a second class American, and I always strived when I was going to school to excel in everything I did.
What message do you want to give to the next generation of Greek Americans? What's your couple line message to the next generation?
Well, I being the first generation of Americans born in America from Greece, I was always very, very proud of Greece. But at the same time, there was a conflict of feeling. I felt that I loved the United States of America a little bit better. Although in the back of my mind, I was always in love with Greece. My message to the new generation is never forget that you were a Greek or are a Greek. Never forget your own country. The United States of America is a great country, and always be proud of being an American, but at the same time be very, very proud that you are also a descendant of the Greeks.
Happy birthday, dear Helen. Happy birthday to you.
For more information about sponsoring or viewing the interview series, visit the Greek American Heritage Society of Philadelphia online at gahsp.org.